A few weeks ago, a jury found my fiancé, Andrew, guilty of statutory rape and 1 count of child molestation, and the victim was my daughter.
My 8-year-old daughter said, "Dad, I have something I need to tell you." My daughter told me that Andrew had touched her in bad places 8 or 9 different times.
The first thing that came to my mind was that he didn't do this. Andrew and I had a great sex life. He wasn't deprived, he was happy. My daughter loved Andrew and even called him daddy. Andrew was a better father than Brandon has ever been. When I finally got to see my daughter, she wasn't very forthcoming. I asked her if Andrew really did this, and she said yes. People say kids don't lie, but that's bull. They lie all the time. After these allegations, I sent my daughter to live with my parents. I stayed with Andrew because it was important for me to have people think that I was still behind him.
Camma would be with Andrew now if he wasn't in jail.
When I told Andrew what was happening, he denied everything. It wasn't until 6 months later that the police came and arrested him. Andrew said he was innocent and that he didn't touch her. They told him that if he confessed, they would let him go. So I believe his confession was a lie. I am convinced that Andrew did not do this. A week before the allegations happened, my daughter came home and told me that her father and her had a plan for her to go and live with him. At the time, I thought nothing of it. I hate to think that she's a liar, but I think she's being manipulated by her father.
My daughter is not a liar.
There is no doubt in my mind that an innocent man is in jail.
Kimmel, let me ask you, when you first heard about this, what was your reaction?
Honestly, I was just like shocked, and I didn't even know what to think. I was scared for her if it actually happened. Like, it was just really a big shock for me.
Did you believe it the minute you heard it?
I did, but I didn't. I just didn't want to believe it.
And there came a choice point where you could either be with Andrew or be with your daughter.
Yes.
And you sent your daughter away and stayed with Andrew.
Yes.
Take me through your logic trail on that. How did you reason that out?
Well, I knew she would be safe with my parents, and I had a lease that I couldn't break, that our landlord wouldn't let us break. And honestly, I didn't believe that he did this, and I thought he was innocent, and I wanted to, if I left, he would make him look more guilty.
Does that seem odd in retrospect?
Yes.
And you say intuitively that you just know he didn't do this. You just know it.
Yes.
How do you know it?
He's just not that type of person. I lived with him for at least 1.5 years before the allegations.
Well, what is that type of person? Because I've been doing this 45 years, and I have to do an awful lot of profiling and digging and history building and interviewing and a whole lot of things for me to know. How can you tell just by talking to somebody?
I mean, I just knew Andrew. I knew he wouldn't do the things that he was accused of.
Yeah. And you say that people say kids don't lie, but we all know kids lie.
Yes.
Is that an excuse, though? I mean, children lie, but you have to look at the quality and the texture of a lie. If they lie, is it consistent? Is it detailed? Is it layered? And what is their motive? You have to look at all of those things. What has she been consistent in what she reports?
No.
How so?
She says it happened once. She said it happened 3 times, 7 times, and she's been very inconsistent with, what actually happened.
And you think the mastermind behind all this is Brandon, your ex?
Yes.
Yeah. And what's his motive?
He wants to have full custody of our daughter.
Right.